this was the end. How could this have happened? But I know that God was present in the minister, in the priest, in the nurse, in everybody that came to be there. So it is important, that there's different times that if you're not built up, you become into such despair. And there was one time in my life when I was surrounded by such negativity, and I went down to zero, and I cried, and I sobbed, and I didn't know how to make myself, but I still had that little spark within me to believe that I can make it through this. And I did, and I had a precious friend help me through it. Because it wasn't totally empty. I had built things up inside myself, and I said, I will not go back. And I will always, always hold those things dear within myself. Even though I'm afraid sometimes and that shadow just crosses my pathway, I'm not going to give up. So, perfect love can cast out any fear. Perfect love. We can turn away from that shadow. We can turn towards the light. We can be that lighthouse for everybody that we come in contact with. And the shadow dissipates. And we don't see it anymore. So when you turn on the light, there's no more shadows. There's no more darkness. So there is this poem, after all the different things that have been said. Oh, and there's two words that I read in this book. They are so precious. Jesus said it. I knew. 2 words. When something happened and it looked like it was all going to crumble apart, I knew it was going to be all right. Because God gives me that strength. Gives me the courage to move forward. These 2 words are so powerful. I knew it. Because there's no question. There's no doubt. There's nothing that holds me back. I knew it would be all right. So there's this one, after the darkness, after the crisis, comes the angel's tears. Raindrops, as pure as angels' tears, fell reverently to the ground, blessing nature with its coolness. As gently as it began, it ended with a rainbow stretched majestically across the sky. Colors rich and vibrant bled gently into each other, creating a brilliant symphony of hues, which cried for attention. All were awestruck by such innocent beauty, looking beyond the storm that created such a miracle. An awareness of life enveloped everything. A sweet perfume scented the air as flowers opened, drinking their fill of this wonder. Clouds parted and a sapphire blue sky appeared. The sun shone brightly, reflecting like tiny jeweled mirrors. Each moment has a beginning and an end. The in-between is where the rainbows exist. The breathtaking glimpses of hope, where love never disappears. It only grows stronger when it is remembered. So that is an analogy for when there's a crisis. You know that there's always a rainbow in between that. So I'm going to leave you with a prayer. And if you'll close your eyes. And just settle in, if this is comfortable for you, knowing that the presence and the power of God is where we are. There's one infinite mind that moves through and around as us. The grace, the beauty, the wisdom, the infinite peace, the greatness, the allness, the oneness, the connectedness, the majesty, that universal womb of possibility where we are birthed from, unlimited. And I know this power. And I know that I am connected to it as you are connected to it. As I speak this for you also. That I'm an individualized expression of spirit, creatively expressing divinely as me, as of God, God's experience of life. I'm connected to the love and the grace and the beauty as I move gently through life. Having that universal rhythm of life beating within my heart. I am connected, I am made of God, expressing as God. So I know in this moment, and then can declare and claim for me and for all of us, perfect love, perfect givingness, that each step of the way as we move through life, we are divinely guided, each step of the way. That God is right where we are. Despite the shadows, we turn into the light. In times of crisis or doubt or fear or pain or sorrow, we call on our ATM. We affirm the truth for ourselves, retreat for it, and we meditate and contemplate and open our doorway to the soul, listening to God's whisper against our souls. We know the truth. We are filled up. We are complete. We are whole. In any moment, we express divinely as love. So in this moment, in this great moment of celebration, I have deep gratitude, great thanks for this celebration of my life and your life, divinely expressing as uniquely as you are. And I bless this moment. So I release this prayer into the loving action of the law, knowing that as it is said, it is complete. The universe says yes, yes, to beauty, love, grace. And I can release these words knowing that they are true, because I know the truth. And let it be. And so it is. So thank you for having me here today. Let's do this affirmation together. I recognize my true source, and I let prosperity pour forth into every experience of my life. My account with the bank of life runneth over. And so it is. Thank you.
This one. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
I need a roadie. My friends, this is Roland. Roland is a very lonely piano with many perfect notes that need somebody to help him bring forth. So we put Roland over here to set an intention that the perfect person will show up through that door and join Roland and the music department and help us make a lot of joyful music.
Hey, Roland. I like that. Hello, I'm Johnny Cash. Well, for Father's Day, I thought I'd do something, a Father's Love song. In a minute. Well, I came home from school one day with a shiner on my eye. Fighting was against the rules, and it didn't matter why. When Dad got home, I told my story just as I'd rehearsed. And I stood there on these trembling knees, waiting for the worst. He said, let me tell you a secret about a father's love. Secret that my daddy said was just between us. Fathers don't just love their children every now and then. It's a love without end. became a father in 1981. It didn't take long to realize he was his daddy's son. About the time I thought my patience had come to an end, I recalled the words my father said, and I passed them on to him. I said, let me tell you a secret about a father's love, a secret that my daddy said was just between us. Fathers don't just love their children every now and then. It's a love without end, amen. It's a love without end, amen. Last night I dreamed I died and stood before those pearly gates. It didn't take long to realize there must be some mistake. If they knew half the things I've done, they wouldn't let me in. And somewhere from the other side, I heard those words again. Let me tell you a secret about a father's love, a secret that my daddy said was just between us. Fathers don't just love their children every now and then. It's love without end, amen. It's love without end, amen.
Okay, and now, if we can repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind, life is in my body, life is in my finances, life is in my relationships, life is in my work. I think it, I feel it, I believe it, I express it, and I just and just the way it's not. Oops. There's always an oops. And we're going to go ahead and pass the basket around. As we pass the basket around, I want to remind you tonight, be here 5 to 7, workshop, donation base. Bring your friends, family members, cousins, kids, everybody. Anybody and anybody you can think of that needs this workshop. And together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous now. Amen to that. All right. Not bad. We had so much activity, and yet we're still done almost on time, just 5 minutes over. Not bad, huh?